I had a partner, man. I had a partner who, you know what I'm saying, he got really good at making beats because, in my opinion, I always thought he was good at making beats because, one, he was good at finding samples, you know what I'm saying? And then two, he would always drop effects. He used to use effects presets. And that's one of the things I didn't do. I didn't like using effect presets because I specifically wanted to learn how to mix. That was one of the first things that I was trying to do in high school. When I was making beats in high school, I tried, like, I used like instruments that I knew, like strings. Like, I didn't really use synths a lot. Like, I didn't really care to use synths too much, even though I did. Like, I have a lot of beats with synths, but for the most part, I used to like using strings and horns and like live drums. And then I would try to like mix them to where I could like stack as many strings and horns on top of each other and make them do whatever I want. That was my focus. That was my goal. And I made it. I'm there now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I've been there for a long time, but definitely, like, I feel like I can put anything on top of anything and mix it in. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm very proud of, because yeah, I remember when I started and I didn't know how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Straight like that. I remember when I didn't know how to. So knowing how to, I'm happy. And it was the reason why I didn't like using effects presets, because I didn't know how to use the damn effects. If I don't know how to mix, then why am I even gonna put the effects on there? You know what I'm saying? Because I can't change it. Pretty much simple as that. Like, I don't know what the knobs, like at the time, like I didn't really know what the knobs did, and like when you're learning about music and like making beats, like a lot of it you have to learn through experience, because you have to like train your ears. Like, you have to kind of like learn how it sounds in different environments. You have to know exactly how the sound's changing and then how it changes on different plugins, because every new plugin has a different knob and a different name for the knob. You know what I'm saying? So there's no real way to know how you're changing the sound. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure my camera's still on. All right, bet. There's no real way to know how you're changing the sound unless you take the time to know how sounds are able to be changed overall. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like using effects presets, because I just didn't like having a bunch of effects on my channel that I didn't know how to alter, and I don't know what the knobs do, and I can't change it. And then there was like specific things I wanted to do. Like, I already knew there's specific things I wanted to do that I couldn't do because I didn't know what the knobs did. You know what I'm saying? Like for the longest, I didn't know how to use the compressor. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big thing. Learning how to use the compressor is very important. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, the EQ was easy. You know what I'm saying? The EQ is like one of the easiest things to learn. And then what else did I learn? And then the delay, you know what I'm saying? So like the EQ and delay was easy. But when you mix with just the EQ and delay, you're not going to really be able to stack everything on top of each other, because really all you're doing is chipping away at the sound and making it just sound thinner. So you'll just have a bunch of thin sounds all jumbled in. Like, you have to learn how to use the compressor in order to really know how to move things around. And then, like, you have to learn how to use the reverb to keep things from sounding muddy and mucky. You know what I'm saying? So I had a partner who used to just throw on effects presets, and I feel like there was times where he thought I was weird for not doing it. But the thing that I learned was, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, from him throwing on effects presets, he was always creating new sounds. And I was just like, dang, yo, like, these don't sound good. You know what I'm saying? That's what made all his beats good, because all the sounds were different, and he was like creating new sounds. But he didn't know how to mix it, you know what I'm saying? And he always looked to me to mix it, and I didn't know how to mix it because I didn't know how to use the different effects he dropped in. He dropping in random effects. And I'm just like, I didn't even know the program had this effect. I don't know how to use this shit. You know what I'm saying? So his songs used to just be interesting and unmixed in the motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, now you know, I know how to use the effects, so now I can pretty much just mix anything in. Like you can send me trash and I can pretty much just mix anything in together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm proud of that. I think if I would have got too comfortable using, well, I don't know. I don't really know, man, because I feel like if I would have got too comfortable using effects presets before I actually learned how to use the effects, I think I just would have overwhelmed myself. I think that's really just all it would have been. Like I'd have just been overwhelmed by all the effects I'm using and not knowing how to use them, not knowing how to use them, and trying to figure out where to start. So what I used to do is I used to just stick with what I knew, and like I'm not gonna use another effect until I learn how to use this one thing. You know what I'm saying? So until I know every button on this delay, and until I know every button on this reverb, and until I know how to effectively use this compressor, I'm not adding no phaser, I'm not adding no flanger, I'm not adding no, you know what I'm saying? Because when you start using phasers and flangers, like I'll be wanting to control how the frequency moves. Like why is this shit shifting to the left at that part? I want that shit to go to the right at that part. I want that shit to go up at that part. And you know what I'm saying? So it was like specific things that I didn't like not having control of.